Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I am really excited to be bringing you my team building analysis video for week 1 of season 3 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed, we are back. As you may well know, the PPL is back for season 3 division 1, and yeah, we've got our first battle coming up this week. It's really exciting times. It's been a while since, we've been in this position, and I'm really excited to be back doing the PPL, having some battles, and just enjoying it. So let's get right on with the video. So first game, we are up against, as you can probably see on the screen, our good friend Alex, aka Onesie Banette, and AS Monferno, his newly renamed team. He used to be, of course, Celta Dano. Now he is AS Monferno. And it's pretty spook. We always have good games, myself and Alex. They're always fairly close. There's usually a little bit of luck involved one way or the other. But his team this season is pretty damn spook. Should be coming up on your screen right about now. As you can see, his team, he has got Victini, Mega Sableye, Zapdos, Escavalier, Marowak, Suicune, Regirock, Whimsicott, Kyurem, Sork, and of course, Bayleaf. There's some really tough mons there. Victini, we had Victini last season. It's always a threat. Stuff like Zapdos and Whimsicott I used in season 1 and they were pretty good. Mega Sableye is considered by some, not many, but some, to be one of the best mons in the format. It seems to be a little bit underrated as far as people choosing like top 5 mons in the format go. You don't often see Mega Sableye there, but it's when you face it, you suddenly realise, damn, this thing's hard to take down. And then he's got stuff like Escavalier, Marowak, two very obscenely powerful slow mons. Suicune is Suicune, it does what it does. Regirock is incredibly bulky and very popular. Kyurem is devastating. People sleep on Kyurem. It's incredibly devastating. It can do a lot of damage. Sork is scary as hell. I find it to be sometimes a little bit too slow, but a Scarfed set with that massive attack stat and the decent coverage that it gets is scary stuff. And then there's Bayleaf, who, if anything, Alex knows how to use Bayleaf. It's bulkier than you might think. Little mini memes there, the Bayleaf. Now, looking at his team, he's got these powerful slow threats. The one saving grace there is he's only got 2 Trick Room setters, and they're both 2 of the fastest members of his team. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets around that if he decides to bring Trick Room. But everything he's got is a threat in its own right, so we're going to have to work hard to take on his team. So without further ado, let's get into the team I've decided to bring week 1 against Onesie Banette. And the first member of the team is going to be Latias. Redmond makes his Parasect Germain debut here. We've gone with a very bulky spread with the Culver Berry as the item. Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power Fire, Calm Mind and Recover. We've got max attack, 188 in defense and 64 in speed with that timid nature. So what we've got here obviously is your Communal Garden, Calm Mind setup Latias with recovery. Those 2 moves, Dragon Pulse and Hidden Power Fire, they are hitting his team, everything he's got, for at least neutral damage. Dragon Pulse, I don't really want to be rocking out with Draco Meteor on a Calm Mind setup defensive set. It hits everything at least neutrally, that isn't called Escavalier or Whimsicott. And we've got Hidden Power Fire to hit those. It'll also do some nice damage to the potential Bayleaf, which I'm fairly sure he won't be bringing, but we've got to take these things into account. Culver Berry there because I really do fear Pursuit Trapping Escavalier. I was originally going to run a spec set of Latias just to nuke things, but I don't want that Escavalier coming in on a Draco, tanking it with an Assault Vest or something, and Pursuit Trapping my Latias on the way out. So what we've got is Culver Berry to try and take that a little bit better. We've got Hidden Power Fire. If we can stay in, get some nice damage off onto the Escavalier, maybe with a Calm Mind up, we might be able to do 2-hit KO damage. Certainly if he's Ockerberry, you're looking at a 2-hit KO. If he's AV, maybe a bit less. But but I really do fear that Escavalier. But, you know, Dragon and Fire, that's good coverage on his team. You know, neutral coverage is always good to have. And a defensive Latias is usually a good answer to Victini. I'm fully expecting Victini, but I'll get on to the sort of things I expect from Alex at the end of my rundown of what I'm bringing. So Latias looking to be able to set up on the likes of Zapdos, hopefully. Possibly the Suicune. You know, if we get into a Carmine War, that would be less than ideal. I'm actually not packing any phasing on my team, even with the Suicune there, but hopefully we should be able to sort out the Suicune with one of the mons that I'm going to go into later on. So that's Redmond the Latias. Let's move on to the second member of the team, and that is going to be Pork and Beans the Weezing. We've got a Rocky Helmet Weezing here, with Sludge Bomb, Toxic Spikes, Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split. We've got, yes, Common or Garden, 252 defensive set with Bold Nature. Sludge Bomb, because you can't run Sludge Wave with Pain Split. I do not understand this. The only way Weezing gets Sludge Wave is through a Dream World move. Sludge Wave is a TM. It gets it through Dream World, it can't learn the TM. I don't know. But whatever, you know. It's not like he's got a Chestnut on his team, there's nothing with Bulletproof, so we should be okay. Now, Rocky Helmet there to give some damage to the physical attackers. Weezing here to try and take on any form of physical Victini. Escavalier is basically warped by this thing. Marowak can't do too much to it either. And Sork as well, unless he's Mold Breaker with Earthquake. You know, we should be looking good with Weezing. Can take any kind of hit. Sludge Bomb is its only form of stab. You know, it's its only physical attack. So it's only actual damage causing attack. Now, you'll notice I'm running Toxic Spikes and Will-O-Wisp. Toxic Spikes are very useful against Onesie's team. He's only got two things that are immune to it, those being the Zapdos and the Escavalier. The Escavalier I want to burn anyway, so that's fine, it doesn't matter, you know, it's immune to it because it's Steel type anyway, what the hell. And Zapdos is going to be his defogger, if he's bringing it in that regard. It's going to be his defogger that is immune to Toxic Spikes. And if I can force in the Zapdos to get a defog off, I can get a switch into something to try and get big damage on said Zapdos. Now, of course he does have a Mega Sableye, which is an issue for hazard setting, but I will come on to later why I think this is going to work, because I do have a plan in mind. Pain Split on there, you know, it's its only way of getting recovery back, especially given that I'm not packing, what's that item called, the Black Sludge. So Pain Split going to be useful on that. One of those moves that isn't bounced back by Magic Bounce. So I can still Pain Split on a Mega Sableye, looking to Pain Split on any kind of thing with high health that he goes in to take this on, like for example a Zapdos, maybe a Kyurem, something like a Regirock, you know, any of these kind of things. Hell, even a Victini, who you know I should be able to take most hits from. So that's pretty much all I have to say on Weezing. Let's get on to the third member of my team, and here is my big win condition for the game. This is Shamo the Blaziken. We have got a wide lens Blaziken here. Flare Blitz, High Jump Kick, Stone Edge, and Agility. With 44 HP, max attack, 4 in each of the defenses because they were left over, and 204 in speed. What these EVs allow me to do, the 204 in speed with an agility up, that will allow me to outspeed his Scarf base 100s, like Victini, like Zapdos, if either of them want to be Scarfed. I should say, by the way, I did forget to mention the specific speed on my Latias. It's not a lot of investment, but it's a positive nature. That allows me to outspeed Jolly Sork. But Blaziken here, this agility is going to allow me to outspeed his Scarf base 100s. I don't envisage him bringing a Scarf Whimsicott. That would seem to be a waste of its talents. Whimsicott is something I'm afraid of. Once again, I'll go on to that later. But yeah, Agility Blaziken, this is a win condition for me. If I can get an Agility up, I will sweep his team. You know, Flare Blitz is obvious stab. You know, it hurts. HJK, that's hitting a lot of things hard. It's massive damage on the Kyurem. It'll do massive damage to the Regirock. Stone Edge, nice for the Victini, the Zapdos looking at it. The Kyurem as well will be hit super affected by that if he's going on a switch to it for some reason, I don't know. Yeah, you know, Blaziken, it's the win condition. Wide lens on there, that takes High Jump Kick's accuracy to 99%, so if I miss a High Jump Kick with that, I will be livid. It also takes Stone Edge accuracy to 88, which is much better odds. yeah, Blaziken is a win condition. You know, as I say, if I get an agility up, I can sweep him. Unless he is packing the Rogue Scarf Whimsicott, which, as I say, I'm not expecting him to bring. I'm expecting Whimsicott, I'm not expecting Scarf Whimsicott. But, as I say, I'll move on to what I expect him to bring a bit later. That's Blaziken pretty much sorted out of the way. Fourth member of the team is going to be Sebek the Crocodile. We have a Leftovers Intimidate set here. With Earthquake, Stone Age, Knockoff, and Stealth Rock, we've got 244 in HP, 188 into attack, and 76 in speed with the Adamant Nature. It's just another heavy hitter. I wanted Pursuit for the Victini, but I realised I'd quite like a Knockoff user as well. So I prioritised that. Earthquake, that's just good stab. Stone Edge is there to hit the likes, as I said before, of Zapdos pretty hard. The speed, I believe, will allow me to outpace non-invested base 100s, if I'm not mistaken. So if he's running a bulky Victini, or more likely a bulky Zapdos, I can outpace that, I think. Get off a big hit with Earthquake or Stone Age respectively, and try and do some nice damage. Rocks, once again, they do hurt his team. You know, it's nice to have Rocks with a potential U-turning Victini and Volt-switching Zapdos kicking around. They also cause big damage to the Kyurem. They can break a potential Sturdy or Sash on the Sork. And yeah, they're just nice. They force a Defog. I don't believe he has a Spinner. His only form of hazard removal, if I'm not horribly mistaken, is the Zapdos. I'm not sure if Kyurem gets Defog. It might. I forget. But yeah, Crook is kind of here. It's a nice bulky pivot that can put the hurt on things and get some health out with Leftovers. Looking for it to put in some nice work, especially if I can get rid of the Mega Sableye early, which I plan to. We can get Rocks up and can put some nice pressure on his team. So that is Sebek. Next up, fifth member of the team, we have Sinatra, the Sylveon. We have Leftover Sylveon here, physically defensive set, 244 in HP, max defense, and 12 in speed with that bold nature. We are rocking out with Hyper Voice, Hidden Power Fire, Wish, and Protect. 12 in speed. You know, Sylveon at base 60 is kind of in prime speed creeping territory. So I've put 12 in there just to stop him from doing that, just to try and counter, what was the phrase I just used? I've forgotten already. Just to kind of counter speed creep him. You know, if he wants to creep with the likes of Regirock for whatever reason, or Marowak more likely, if he's not putting full speed into Marowak, I can creep that and get some big damage off. Hyper Voice, even off, you know, a defensive set, is doing massive damage. Hidden Power Fire, once again, as with Lati, that's there for the likes of a Scavalier, Whimsicott too. And yeah, Wish Protect, very nice to try to scout out his Scarfers, his banned, his choice locked Pokemon. Obviously I can't hit the Victini with it, but if he's bringing Victini and it's choiced, I can scout it and go into an appropriate, loath to say counter because it's a Victini, there aren't any counters to it. But yeah, Sylveon going to be nice for team support and scouting things out and trying to get chip damage where I can, because I say that Hyper Voice is still pretty powerful. So that is going to be the talk on Sylveon. No, it's not. I forgot to mention. I can go back and sort of talk a little bit about the Toxic Spikes plan. As I mentioned a bit earlier, bit weird to see Toxic Spikes wheezing when there's Mega Sableye. Now my plan, really, expecting Mega Sableye, is to lead with Sylveon. Now, reason I can do that is because Mega Sableye is a pretty good lead for him. If I can expect the lead of Mega Sableye, I can lead with Sylveon. He is forced to switch out or take huge damage from a Hyper Voice. And he'll most likely go into anything to try and counteract this, which could be the likes of AV Regirock, more likely a Scavalier, which is crucial, because if he brings any of those, I can get Wheezing in on the switch, and then it doesn't matter, he doesn't have his Mega up, I can get Hazards up. And Toxic Spikes are going to be quite useful against his team to wear things down. Bulky things like Kyurem if he brings it. The Mega Sableye, he'll have to switch in on those Toxic Spikes. And if I can stop his Zapdos from defogging too early, the damage will be done if I can get a few things in on Toxic Spikes, because once things are toxic with the spikes, he can defog them as much as he likes, I don't care. Mega Mogwai did this very effectively in one of his GBA games. He got Toxic Spikes up early, forced switches and got everything poisoned, so that by the time the defog went off, it didn't matter that it had gone, because all the damage had been done already. So that's the kind of plan there with Sylveon, to try and lure in the Mega Sableye, get it out of there, and get Weezing in on a free switch against a physical attacker, get some T-Spikes up, jobs are good. So that, take two, is enough of Sylveon. Let's move on to the final team member, and that's going to be LBJ, the Electabuzz. We have gone power because we have Choice Specs Electabuzz here. With Static, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Focus Blast. We've got 36 HP, max special attack, 220 in speed. Yeah, Specs Electabuzz. Shardy bought this against me, final game of Season 2, and it put in the finest of work with 3 KOs. So yeah, I like it. It's got nice coverage, again, against most of his team. Electric and Ice, we all know, is fantastic coverage. It'll hit most things. Admittedly, something like an AV Escavalier will take the hit. Marowak isn't taking a Hidden Power Ice. Focus Blast is useful for the likes of Kyurem. Doesn't want to be taking that. It'll hit the Escavalier neutrally as well as hitting some big damage onto the Regirock. The main reason, however, for Specs Electabuzz is that Suicune. Suicune is a threat. Now, what I do get some solace out of the fact is that he can't really afford to bring full-on Crocoon, because I do have a Jellicent on my squad, which I could bring, and if he brings full Crocoon, he can't touch Jellicent, and I will beat him eventually. It'll be slow and painful for both of us, but I will beat him eventually, so he can't bring full Crocoon. But he might still bring Calm Mind, but Specs Electabuzz still does massive damage to a +1 Suicune. You know, he gets a +1, he gets a Calm Mind up, I go for Specs Thunderbolt. He's still probably in range for another. If he's not, he might be forced to rest, and then I can start hammering away at him, getting that big damage, obviously outspeeding, and hopefully trying to take it down. The speed EVs on the Electabuzz takes me to 168. That allows me to outspeed all non-scarfed forms of Victini and Zapdos. So I'm outspeeding everything unscarfed on his team other than the Whimsicott. And, you know, that's good. We like that. And I'm not expecting Whimsicott to be scarfed anyway. It would still outspeed me. But I'm hoping I have enough natural bulk to maybe take a hit. Whimsicott worries me. The only thing I really have for it is the natural bulk of Sylveon, who admittedly can take any 2 hits from it, unless it's like Specs Modest, I think. But yeah, we should be good here. Electabuzz is a powerful threat. If he doesn't bring Marowak, I can Volt Switch with impunity. And if I'm honest, I don't expect him to bring it. But I'll say I'll get onto that in just a tiny bit, probably imminently. But yeah, that is going to be the team we're bringing to take on Onesie. So things on his team that worry me. Weirdly enough, it's not his major threats that you would expect, like Victini, maybe Zapdos, Suicune. I feel like I have ways of dealing with them. Sork too. The thing that really worries me is Whimsicott, because Whimsicott with the right spread can run through my team. Like a Life Orb Whimsicott with, for example, Moonblast, Energy Ball / Giga Drain, Psychic, and Hidden Power Fire, for the likes of my potential Mega Scizor, that can sweep my entire team other than Noctowl, who I'm not bringing. So and the thing is, Alex is a good player, he's an intelligent player, he will see that weakness, and he will try and exploit it. I'm fully expecting some form of offensive Whimsicott, completely and utterly expecting that. Other things I'm expecting him to bring, Mixtini, off the top of my head I would say Flare Blitz, Bolt Strike, Psychic for the Weezing, and U-Turn for Initiative. Not sure what item, maybe Expert Belt, potentially Scarfed. Mega Sableye I see him bringing, not sure entirely what set it would be, but I see him bringing it. Zapdos, sure he's bringing that. Escavalier, I'm also sure he's bringing that. Marowak I don't see coming. You know, he did threaten that it could do work on my team, but I really don't see him bringing Marowak. Suicune I think is a very strong possibility. Regirock, not so much. I have a fair amount of things to deal with Regirock. Whimsicott, I'm absolutely certain is coming. Kyurem, probably not, you know. I've got some powerful ones that can take it out. My first 3 picks can all do the damage against it. You know, Latias outspeeds it, Sylveon tanks any hit and kills it with Hyper Voice, and Mega Scizor has incredibly powerful priority and takes its dual stabs incredibly well. Sork is the only other one I could see coming. And Bayleaf, no, not Bayleaf, not today. Not so early in the season. For me, it's between, the choice is 7 for me, really. Victini, Mega Sableye, Zapdos, Escavalier, Suicune, Whimsicott, and Sork are the ones I think he will be picking from. And it's the Whimsicott that worries me. You know, when I've been doing analysis it was for the Battle Union, and I think it was either Eric or Josh, it might have been Eric, and I kept sort of banging on at how he wasn't bringing anything with special defense investment, and I realise I've done the same, but I'm kind of seeing where he was coming from, because his team had massive natural special bulk, and mine does too. And I can't really afford to invest specially defensively on Sylveon, because I need to be physical. So yeah, I'm kind of relying on natural special bulk and Calm Mind on the Lati. So that's really what we're working with here. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Look forward to seeing the battle. That'll be going up sometime this weekend. Probably the Saturday. I mean, I'm pretty sure upload date is the 6th, so that's going to be the Saturday. So we're going to be aiming to get this battle up on Saturday. This will probably be going up on Friday. But yeah, the battle will be up imminently, so make sure you look forward to that. It's going to be good whatever happens. You know, it's myself versus Alex. It can only be a good battle. So yeah, that'll be up soon. Keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. That is all from me. Oh no it isn't. Before I forget, do make sure to head down to the description to check out the links to Alex, of course, Onesie Banette. His channel links will be down there in the description. Make sure you check them out. He's a lovely guy. He's a very good friend of mine. His content's excellent. He's a very good battler. Check him out. Also, of course, links to the PPL Twitter and YouTube. To stay up to date with all things PPL, you can find those links down there. You can sort of see old Meet the Manager videos. We're going to have a lot more analysis going up this season, we hope. And you'll see all the transfer news you need to know when it happens to keep abreast of everything. Follow those links. But now, I am going to get out of here. So, thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. And I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.